My name is Paul Berg. I'm a co-founder and CEO at Sablier. The pronunciation is up to you. I typically use Sablier the American way just because English is the way, but the word actually means hourglass in French. So if you preferred Sablier, you can go with that. And yeah, what we do is we are a token distribution platform in the EVM space. I'm personally an Ethereum developer. I've joined the industry in 2018, late 2018, and I've been developing Solidity. And I started this company. It was first established in 2019. It was initially just a project. It was a very simple app that was like handling payments. And we introduced this concept of money streaming, which means this continuous by the second distribution of assets. Over time, we've expanded into a more general purpose platform for distributing tokens to your team. And we're like VC back now, and we have a team of 9 people working fully remotely. I'm Romanian. My co-founder is Romanian too, Razvan. And our stats so far are, and I've just calculated them before the talk. We have 2,900 like all-time users, 1.78 million Ethereum transactions that our smart contracts have processed. Not a single hack, and we're quite proud of that, occurred in all of these like metrics. And we are the #1 investing protocol on EVM, and we're deployed on 25 plus EVM chains, many layer 2s. And if you're building a layer 2 and want a solution like Sablier, please reach out to me after the talk. As I said, we're backed by VCs. We've been through Andreessen Horowitz CSX Accelerator in London. This was last year. It was a great experience. I can highly recommend it. I can recommend you to join CSX if you can apply. It's like a really top-notch advice and like investor feedback you'll get there. And A Capital, GD1, and Factor, and many others, angels, of course. And let's start with the problem we're solving, right? Is what do you need to do and like know before your TG, which is your token generation event? And you need like a way to vest that token to yourself as a founder, and to your team, to your investors. Because if you have the liquidity on day one, people will dump it. That's what happens in this industry. And you have 3 ways to go about it. Right? You can do off-chain token vesting. You can use custodial services like Anchorage, BitGo. The problem with this is that they keep control of your assets, right? It's like this is not crypto. This is not Web3. It's just like you give your tokens to a bank. The other option is you can build you build your own chain investing tools. So you go on chain, you use smart contracts, but you do it in-house. You ask your developers to build this. And this can easily get complicated if you want to do it at scale, if you want to have your own UI, and that will eat into your runway, or you can just use our service. We've been developing it for many years now. It's solid. It works as a nice UI. And it's on chain. And this is the beauty, like if you're supporting Sablier, you're supporting yourself, because if you're building a Web3 company and you are working with a Web3 company like us, you're just growing the pie, right? It's like we're doing more business on chain. And we provide, the first product we provide is the on-chain investing one. And we basically enable you to have any kind of distribution curve you can think of. It's like monthly unlocks, linear streams. This was the original, by the second idea thing. But now we can have any of these like curves. You can put them on chain. Typically it's like 4 years vesting with like a year cliff. We support that. And we also support now like airdrops. So if you want to do like a mass campaign with up to 1 million recipients, you just upload your CSV file, and we will handle the process of like deploying a contract that keeps your claims for users. In terms of the pricing, like the way it works is that creating these payment streams is free, but to claim the assets, We charge a flat fee between like $1 and $2, depending on the product exactly you're using. Of course, we're happy to give discounts based on how big your campaign is. But the starting price is like between $1 and $2 for like claiming the assets from the protocol, and that is charged in ETH. So your users don't need to have like USDC or something. They just like pay the gas fee, and we add a small fee on top for the Sablier service basically. So it's our billing model is fully on chain, and I encourage you to not take money if you're building a business. Do not use Stripe. Just please do it on chain because we want to grow the pie again. And we also offer the ability to, if you want to have a custom claim page, we put your own brand, we can do that for you. And this is a demo. This is a static image, just in case the video wasn't working. But we also have a video, so let's hope it will work. Yeah, it works. So the beauty of blockchain is that we don't have to do the boring monthly monthly unlocks. What we do is that on every block, you have the ability to distribute the assets. So if you have like 3,000 tokens per month, that would be like 100 tokens per day. If you have like a 30-day month, and even from that like 100 per day, a small amount will get unlocked every second. And that's just the beauty of blockchain. That we can do things like this. And this is one of the ways you can structure your like on-chain distribution with Sablier. And yeah, we also have a new product for like real-time on-chain payroll. Basically allows you to have the same team that you're paying over time. You have your 10 employees or contractors, and you pay them with USDC. It's the same thing, but it's just designed for payroll, not necessarily for vesting. And some of our users, the biggest one being Uniswap governance. If you know, Uniswap a few years ago had some legal processes to handle with the state of New York, and the U.S. government actually during the Biden administration times. And we are glad to say that Sablier is the platform that they're using to pay their legal advisors, called the DeFi Education Fund, and it's something like between I think like 4 or 5 million in uni tokens that they initially deposited through Sablier, and we're obviously glad to have them as like users and customers. And some other projects you may have heard about, like NounsDAO, Exactly Protocol, and Shapeshift, Maple Finance, Fjord, and more recently InstaDApp, Fluid, also using Sablier. So you'd be in good hands if you decide to go with us. And that was it. It was a short talk, but I hope you liked it, and of course happy to answer any questions.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much, Paul. If anyone has any questions, do feel free to put your hands up or go through the app as well, which is a good way of putting things forward. I see some people putting their phones up to do just that. In the meantime, Paul, can you talk us through one of your case studies? I mean, those are some pretty big companies you've worked with there. What's been the most interesting one where perhaps maybe you guys, fixed a big problem or saved something bad from happening? We'd love to know more.
Can I go back or no? Yeah, I think I do want to talk about this, like maybe the first one and the second one, but to continue with the Uniswap thing. What was amazing about it was that it was fully permissionless. Like, typically in Web2 and BD, you have some head of BD from company A talk with some head of BD from company B. But the way Uniswap governance started using it, we just heard about it from Twitter. Like, there was no interaction between us and Uniswap. They just found out about us. They made a governance proposal on the Uniswap forum, and somebody said, hey, Sablier is good. Like, these guys have this product. Let's use it. And that was a nice thing. Like, typically in Web 2, you have these like corporate structures where people talk, and it's like long-winded discussion, negotiations, debates. And with Web 3, because it's like global and permissionless, you can just use the product, just connect your wallet, and that's it. No email signups. We don't have any emails. Like, we don't track you. Like, just like put your wallet, like Web 3 wallet, and that's it. So that was a nice thing to see, and I hope that with time, more and more companies will go on chain for their like asset allocation, because it's like just cool. And the first one is just like it's more boring, but it's like a nice business case study for it's like how we can supercharge your growth. Fjord Founder is a token launch platform, so you go to them if you want to launch your own token. And many of their users wanted a vesting solution, and they heard about Sablier, so we just made an integration where Sablier is basically like a backend provider for Fjord. So if you're using Fjord and you want like a vesting module, in fact, it's Sablier under the hood. And that was a nice growth hack for us.
Awesome, that's really cool. Can we go back to the questions page for now as well? In the meantime, what would you say are the biggest mistakes you see teams making with their vesting schedules? Because it's such a big topic of conversation at the moment. Is there anything you've seen that kind of speaks to you?
Well, there are many mistakes. I mean, the first and the biggest one is just have like a too short, like a period, like a vesting period. We have many users who do like 6 months. It's like not enough. I mean, guess what will happen in 6 months, right? It's like people will leave, they will dump your token. Go over it like, I don't know, years. You want to have people committed. You want to have people, stay with you in the long term. There's that. The other thing is that sometimes they make the payment, the streams non-cancelable. Either through a safe that they cannot access anymore, and mistakes happen. So you should still have like a treasury manager that can change your addresses over time if an investor loses access to their wallet or something. But I think the biggest one, and I will end with this, is maybe you heard about the EigenLayer story, where something like 3 or 4 million Eigen tokens were lost because they were using off-chain vesting, and they were using email-based vesting, and somebody sent an email saying that, hey, I'm this investor, can you please change your address for me? I want to receive my tokens at like this new address. And they were like, oh yeah, sure, I will help you. Because it's like a centralized company changing everything. It's like not publicly verifiable on chain. Nobody could spot the error before it occurred. So they just literally sent 3 million worth of Eigen tokens to somebody's emails, like the address shared over email. And that's what happens when you use off-chain investing and like custodians, is that it's very easy to make mistakes. Whereas with Sablier, it would have been put on chain. There would have been a distribution process over time, and you would have lost, say, tokens vested for a few days, weeks, maybe, when somebody would have said, hey, this is not my address. The investor would have said, this is not my address. And that is the beauty of on-chain. So just put your vesting plan on-chain and do not do it over email.
Do you have an idea how much those 3 million tokens are worth now?
Well, much less because the token tanked anyway, but...
Okay, good to know. One more question, actually, from me. Do you think that the future of payroll solutions in Web3 is one where mainstream payroll infrastructure ends up working with companies like yours? Or do you feel like you're going to kind of carry on building within Web3 and there won't be much overreach onto the other side?
Well, I definitely hope that will happen. I think it's a matter of, with payroll, it's a matter of like governments accepting stablecoins for business, and I think it's inevitable because it's just like so many benefits for business, for like trading, for commerce, international commerce especially. Privacy is the elephant in the room. Obviously, you don't want to have your like salaries on chain, but smart people are working on that. I used to work at Aztec, if you know the privacy solution network. Great guys, great team, great product. So hopefully with time, once we bring privacy on chain and governments like realize how much bigger like world commerce trade can become, with stable coins, that will happen eventually. And yeah, we will be there to serve them.
Okay, good to know. And a slightly different question as well. You're building in the UK, is that right?
So the company is UK based. It's like set up there, but we're like actually fully remote. I'm Romanian. I often come back to Romania, and yeah, so we're remote, global.
Fully remote. Okay. My question was going to be about building a Web3 company in the UK, but maybe that doesn't apply then.
It used to be better.
Fair enough. Okay, so go global sounds like the advice there. Yeah. Any other questions from the crowd? Anyone? Oh, right over there. One sec. No, I'll give you the mic just so that we can get you recorded.
Hey, thank you for the presentation. I have one short question and one that wish you're going to spill some alpha here. First question, can you expand on the Fluid Dex collaboration? And second question, do you have any plan regarding stablecoin integration directly on Sablier or launching your own CDP maybe with Sablier in the backend?
The first question I didn't understand. The name you mentioned. Could you say it again?
Fluid Dex.
Fluid.
I think you mentioned it in.
Oh yeah. So I mean, it's just Fluid has their own token, and they're using Sablier for vesting, and they're the inside app Fluid investors are being paid through our platform. And the second one, so the idea is basically, just to make sure I understand you, to use the Sablier funds to create credit, to enable credit. And that idea has been sitting on the backlog. It's probably something we'll do after our Series A. We need more developers to do it. But the idea is pretty cool because what you can do is, you have this like on-chain source of funds, and you can potentially connect it to like a credit card that will enable you to spend from that real-time stream. And the hope is that if you have like 2 or 3 years worth of credit on chain, people will even give you uncollateralized credit based on the trust you have earned over time through Sablier. But that obviously complicated TBD. But yeah, it is on a roadmap. Yeah. Thank you for your questions.
Nice. Any other questions for Paul? Oh, right here.
It's very cool of you that you have your revenue on chain. I'm not sure if you can answer this question, but do you plan to do something with that? I don't know, to develop it further, some kind of distribution in the future maybe, but it's kind of sensitive. I'm not sure if you can answer. To use like the revenue, your revenue on chain somehow.
In what ways to use it? Like
to maybe distribute it through Sablier to investors or something like that. Or any other creative use of it, because few companies have their revenue on chain, and that's somewhat of a unique position maybe.
That is, so the question is, we have our own chain revenues, whether we can distribute them back to our investors. That is security land, and that would very quickly pass the Howey test in the US, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to pass the test. And I'm hopeful that governments will create a legal environment where we don't have to create these like meme coins where we have to say they're like governance tokens, they're not securities, but in fact they are securities. So it's a matter of like legal issue. Like we can do it. We would like to do it, but we can't do it. And so sorry to say no, but.
Okay, good to know. Any other questions? Oh, okay, Mr. Baseball Cap.
So, given that Sablier is the #1 vesting platform on the EVM chains or on Ethereum, what did you guys do that others did not to be successful? Like, is there anything that you did that other vesting platforms did not?
I think it's a combination of just obsession with good products, like building a good product, and top-notch security. Our competitors were hacked on several occasions, and when they were hacked, I was getting dozens of messages on Telegram saying, "Hey guys, we want to move our assets to you." And yeah, building secure smart contracts, as you know, is like not easy. And I would say it's like just good security and good product building obsession that both my co-founder and we share that passion for building products. And yeah, I do encourage everyone, like our app, our UI is at app.sablier.com. If you want to have a look, and yeah, I can show you a demo after the talk, but yeah, those would be the two things. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Paul.
Yep. Thank you,
Everybody, let's
everyone.
put our hands together one more
Thanks.
time.